Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a 21-day blueprint that's designed to literally rewire your habits and unlock peak human productivity. I mean, picture the most successful people you see in modern American cities, right? The executives killing it in high-rise offices, those ultra-dedicated students in grand libraries, or athletes just crushing their limits in state-of-the-art gyms. How exactly are they doing it? Well, today, we're going to break down the actual mechanics behind their success. Let's jump right in.
So why do some people achieve extraordinary success while others just struggle? Especially when we all have the exact same 24 hours in a day. Why is one person making millions while another is barely scraping by? Well, it all points directly to our secret engine for success, the subconscious mind. You see, your habits, those little things you do completely on autopilot, they're the actual architects of your life.
Here's our syllabus for success for this explainer. First, we'll look at the power of the subconscious. Then, the miracle morning routine. Mastering waking and sleep. Doing a dopamine detox and monk mode. And finally, time management and tracking.
All right, starting with Section 1, the power of the subconscious, the engine of your habits.
Did you know that 90% of everything we do every single day is driven entirely by our subconscious programming? It's literally running the show. Science tells us that in the last 5 minutes before you fall asleep, your subconscious mind is 95% active. During the day, it hovers around 75%, but at night, it's wide open. This makes those final few minutes before you drift off the absolute perfect time to program your goals for the next day. If you review your plans as you're falling asleep, your brain spends the entire night literally paving the neurological pathways to make them happen. It's like having a team working the night shift for you.
The thing is, decision energy is a finite resource. Once it's gone, it's gone. If you prepare your battle plan at night, you can wake up like Jeff Bezos. Picture him in his home. He spends his morning enjoying coffee, reading the news, just hanging out with his family. He absolutely doesn't waste his highly valuable decision-making energy figuring out what to do first. So plan tomorrow, tonight. That way you execute with full energy the second your feet hit the floor.
Moving on to Section 2, the miracle morning routine, unlocking 100% efficiency. By carving out dedicated time, say between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., you can generate extraordinary 100% efficient work. To really grasp this, look at the ultimate comeback story of Hal Elrod, the author of The Miracle Morning. After a horrific car accident, he was clinically dead for 6 minutes. He woke up from a coma 6 days later, and doctors literally told him his life as he knew it was over. But guess what? He rebuilt his entirely shattered life, becoming a best-selling author and an ultra-marathon runner, all by using a very specific set of early morning habits. Here are those exact habits, often called the savers. By executing these 6 steps every single morning, sitting in silence, repeating powerful affirmations, visualizing your success, getting your blood pumping with exercise, reading to expand your mind, and writing down your thoughts, you build an insane level of extreme focus. When you prime your brain this way, just 2 hours of deep work can yield the results of 10 hours of normal, distracted work. Talk about a massive return on investment, right?
Okay, Section 3, mastering waking and sleep. This is all about hacking your biological clock.
Now, obviously, none of this works if you literally can't get yourself out of bed. To make this happen, you might need some pretty aggressive tactics. Author James Clear calls this locking yourself in. You're basically designing your environment using extreme hacks, so you literally have no choice but to wake up. Drink a ton of water before bed so biology forces you up. Lock your physical alarm in another room. Use one of those apps that force you to solve math problems. Or, hey, as motivational speaker Sonu Sharma suggests, make a promise to tear up a $10 bill if you hit snooze. You literally have to outsmart your own laziness.
And there's actual science backing this up. A fascinating study out of the University of Lübeck reveals the true power of intention. Researchers told one group they'd wake them at 6 a.m. and another group at 9 a.m. But here's the catch. They actually woke everyone up at 6 a.m. The brains of the people expecting a 6 a.m. wake-up started spiking with energy hormones at 4 a.m. It was biologically preparing them to wake up energized. The 9 a.m. group? Zero spike. They woke up totally irritable. Just setting a clear intention the night before programs your biology. How crazy is that?
Ultimately, getting out of bed comes down to this one core truth. You have to choose your pain. You can either endure the temporary pain of discipline, the early alarms, the intense gym workouts, the mental friction of hard work, or you will inevitably suffer the permanent pain of regret. We're talking financial stress, severe health issues, unfulfilled potential. Once you realize that the pain of discipline is really just the medicine curing your future regret, well, it becomes a whole lot easier to swallow.
Which brings us to Section 4, Dopamine Detox and Monk Mode, Defeating Daytime Distractions.
To really understand the neuroscience of our distractions and why we so easily ditch hard work for cheap digital thrills, let's look at this famous rat experiment. In phase 1, a rat presses a lever for food when it's hungry. Makes sense, right? Survival. In phase 2, a full rat presses a lever to stop an electric shock. Pain avoidance. But in phase 3, they gave the rat random, unpredictable amounts of food when it pressed the lever. The rat became completely addicted, pressing it endlessly just for the thrill of the unknown reward. This perfectly mirrors how social media scrolling works. It gives us these random, unpredictable hits of dopamine, and it just completely hijacks our attention spans.
So how do we fix this? We need a total reset. Enter Monk Mode, or a dopamine detox. This is a strict 21-day period where you completely eliminate all cheap thrills. No endless scrolling, no junk food, no binge watching. Seriously, if you want your brain to genuinely crave hard work, you have to starve it of cheap digital dopamine for 21 days. Think of it like wandering in a desert. Eventually, even a plain, warm glass of water tastes like absolute luxury. You have to make productivity feel deeply rewarding again. Finally, Section 5, Time Management and Tracking. These are your tools for flawless execution.
Right off the bat, we have to shatter a massive illusion. The idea that you don't have time is a complete myth. Global data proves that, on average, a person spends an hour and a half scrolling social media and 3 hours streaming Netflix every single day. We are collectively wasting billions of hours a month just staring at screens. You absolutely have the time. You're just leaking it in tiny, unmanaged packets.
Now, because it takes an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become an automatic habit, you need a bulletproof way to stay consistent. Enter the comedian's secret, the 365-day calendar method. Get yourself a big physical wall calendar. Every single day you execute your new habit, draw a massive red X over that date. Your only goal, your absolute obsession, becomes making sure you never break that visual chain. It's incredibly satisfying, and it really holds you accountable. To help you not break the chain, here are 4 aggressive time management tools. First up, time blocking. Assign unmovable hours to specific tasks so there's absolutely zero decision fatigue. Second, Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. Count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and launch right into the hardest task before your brain can even invent an excuse. Third is Parkinson's law. Set artificial tight deadlines because work naturally expands to fill the time you give it. And finally, use 1-second app delays. Force a mindful, deep breath before your thumb just auto-opens a distracting app. I'll leave you with this provocative thought to kickstart your 21-day challenge. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. Building these habits, waking up early, detoxing from cheap dopamine, yeah, it is undeniably hard. But if you embrace that difficulty right now, everything else in your life becomes incredibly easy. So which path will you choose when your alarm goes off tomorrow morning? Thank you for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.